So I've got everything I used to make my last clusters in this bin. I have all my previous flowers and leaves, as well as some new ones. And I have also some new papers on my desk, some scraps from projects I've done for my Patreon, as well as some other big, large papers that I thought would be fun to use because they're right colors, but there's stuff that like especially this one, it's too big to use for, and this one has, like, the images are too big to use for what I make. So I figured, you know what, let's use them up because I want to use up my stash. So that's why all of these papers are here. Now, so we're making some clusters that I can also give to my Patreons for their freebie sheets. I was gonna use this here for the background, but I just realized I've got this book, and I could use this as the base for this book cover. It's an old book, and I'm using the I could actually even use this. I'm using the book page, so I think that's going to be the base, especially the part where there's a woman's body. There's breasts here. I don't want to obviously show those, so I will cover those up with some of the papers that I have. And I'm just gonna tear some of this away so that I have a bit of papers to play with. I don't necessarily want to have the full page next to me because it's a bit big, but if I have this and if I need more, I've got the page next to me. Okay, so these are all the papers, and this is part of the book page that was in this book. I've got some buttons also because I figured for the insides of the flowers that could be a good thing to use. So let's start off by doing this. We'll cover her up first. Et voila. And then I want to use what I bought on my desk, all the little scraps and things. I have lots of fun making these clusters. They're very addictive, and I had a lot of fun providing them to my my Patreon for their this I could actually staple this here. There's a little bit more glue on it, so let's do that. Okay, then we'll staple this. And I had the discussion in my last video, I believe, of what clusters mean versus toppers, and somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned, like I had mentioned, that I think one is more structured, and it seemed to be the consensus, like that it made sense that toppers would be more structured, whereas these are more a little bit all over the place. Like they're not shaped in a specific way, if that makes sense. Okay, I don't want to put, if I was putting just this with a button would be fine, but because I'm adding all of this here, I'm gonna try to find a brad to put in the center, because otherwise it's gonna mean that I need to put a lot of glue, and I don't want to put too much glue, because I would have to put glue for all the layers to make sure that this was not gonna. So I think maybe this, like so, or like so. I think I would prefer not seeing the name. So I think I'm going to cover the name up. But I like having the spine of the book. On here. So I'm just gonna glue the flower, and this will be my first cluster. And I love these. I love making these so much. Okay, I've got another naked lady here that I want to cover up. Okay, cover her up that way. And then this. Yeah, I know that following my video, there's a few of you that mentioned that you were going to try making your own clusters, and I was wondering if you had. I would love to know. They're great ways to use up the little pieces of paper that you have lying on your desk. And I love that I can use some of the larger papers also. I don't want to make them too tall because I have to remember the size of cards that I use. This way I make sure that I don't overdo them, otherwise I need to cut them down, and it's kind of sad when I have to cut them down too much. And I think for this one, it'd be nice to use one of these flowers. Okay, this one has 2 layers, which is not so bad. I think I possibly want to use a button on it. Like maybe a dark button like this. Do I want a dark one, or do I want like a bright yellow one? I do have some bright yellow ones here. I think maybe the bright yellow would be better. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So, whoops. Put this. There's a little bit of glue right there that's holding the petal with it, but I'll still put some glue in between just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So this is my second cluster, and I don't think I want to see her face, like I want to see an actual face, so I'm gonna, like, I don't mind seeing somebody like that, but not too much. Where does my paper go? That in itself is not bad. I need to figure out which type of flower to use. And I bought all of these flowers, but I think this one would be pretty. I wonder if I could split up this one and put no, but maybe I could do that though. I could split this one up. I think I like that. So this down. This, and my little button. And here we go. Okay. I knew I had some. I was looking for these because that would be pretty inside of that. Okay, so I knew I had some of these, and I could use this one inside of this flower. Whoops. Inside of this flower. And that would be pretty also. Okay, so those are going to be my next makes for a strange combination, but I feel like once you've put the rest of the stuff together, it really kind of works. Like at first it looks weird. I do like the staples, and it does make my life easier by making sure that everything stays together. I'm trying to keep a conversation at the same time as I'm assembling, but it's kind of hard. Sometimes I get just into my head, and I have trouble having words at the same time. So, but I'm hoping that this inspires you to use up your scraps and to figure out new ways of putting stuff together and making your own papers, because this is a great way also to make some papers. Is taking like the big 12 by 12 papers and reassembling them and doing stuff like that with them. I made some with my Patreons, and I scanned them. And this is one of the papers that I made using some of the material. And what I think is really going to be nice is I can use possibly these on top of this with just like putting not this color, but you know, like I could put a plain paper and use this as the background paper. And it's gonna make a way for me to use up papers that otherwise would have stayed any use for them. Do I put a yellow one? I have a small yellow that could go look good on this. A smaller one here. Just a bit thick. If I could use one that's a little bit less thick. I wonder if these are glued together on purpose or... ah, no. Yes, I was able to take it apart. Because this one is really kind of thick. That. I'm hoping to make clusters like these for Christmas also. Probably in the month of November, prepare them so that I can have a sheet. I should do sheets like I just did for my Patreon, but do them for Christmas and use that as the December freebies that I give to them, because I really don't know what else to make. Just waiting to see what type of items I can find at the dollar store that I could tear apart. And maybe some of the papers that I used in one of my recent videos for YouTube and that were difficult to use because they've got such big image, maybe those would be good to use for making these. This on top of just a plain paper is going to be sufficient, I think, for a card top. And thinking of putting this directly on there. I wish this could have worked. It would work on this, but it's just a bit plain. Trying to find the right shade of brad to use. I think this might be a good one. Yeah, I think that one will be good. It's reminiscent of the base color. I think that's going to be very pretty. As a focal point. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make a few more. just so that I have options. I also have more to scan for my Patreons, and that's always a good thing. I'm also thinking of possibly making a set of downloadable for toppers that are pre-made, like the full card. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I'm thinking about it. Because I will have the papers that I said I've got, and I'm also hoping to make also hoping that I'm gonna have I'm making altered playing cards, and so I'm thinking that between the altered playing cards and these, I can probably have enough to make a set of freebies and a set that's going to be just for sale. I don't know. I think I like how simple that one is. So there we go. And did I use all my book page? No, I have some more here. I want some of the yellow to come out, but I don't want too much of it. That's too big. These are really pretty, but I'm not feeling them. Somehow I'm just feeling the flowers. I think I want this one again, but I believe I'm not gonna put anything big on under. I think I'm just gonna put the small one like so. and maybe just use this brad, this color I think would work well. Yeah. Okay, so let's make one last one just for good measures, and then we'll call this done. So I've got that one, and let's use one last one. You can use that. Put that back on top. This underneath. And I think we'll use this flower. And then we'll put this brad inside, and that will be my topper, my focal point for this one. And I can't wait, like I can imagine putting burgundy underneath. I think that's going to be very pretty. Okay, so this is all that I've created. There's quite a lot. I've got plenty to work with to make some fun items for my Patreons. And we'll make some cards using these in an upcoming week. So I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing me make these. You saw, like, I even used the covers of a book that I was taking apart. The book, by the way, was already like in a really bad condition, so the cover was already undone. And it's a book that would have been put in the trash or recycling or whatever, and now it's getting a new life. So yeah, love you guys so much. Take care. And oh, by the way, for all my Canadian folks, happy Thanksgiving. Thinking of you all. Because this is going to be, I'll put this so that it shows up on Thanksgiving weekend for Canada. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.